వెల్కమ్ టు డాక్టర్ టీఎస్పీఆర్ షో. నేను మీ డాక్టర్ తంగెళ్ళ శివప్రసాద్ రెడ్డి అలియాస్ డాక్టర్ టీఎస్పీఆర్. నమస్తే, ఆదాబ్, హలో. కొత్త సంవత్సరంలో మా గురువు గారు, గురుతుల్యులు ఇద్దరు ఒక ముఖ్య అంశానికి అతిథులుగా రావడం, వారు ప్రేరేపించి ప్రజాస్వామ్యంలో ప్రజలే అంటే పౌరులే, సర్వాధికారం పౌరులకే ఉంటుంది. మన భారతదేశంలో, గణతంత్ర దేశంలో అటువంటి పౌరులే తమ రాజ్యాంగాన్ని తమరికే సమర్పించుకున్నారు. కాబట్టి ప్రతి పౌరుడు ఒక రాజ్యాంగ వ్యవస్థ. అట్టి పౌరుడు తన హక్కులను తెలుసుకోకుండా జీ హుజూర్ ఇంకా బానిసత్వాన్ని, బ్రిటిష్ వారు వెళ్ళిపోయిన వారి కొనసాగింపుగా పార్టీలు, పదవిలో ఉన్న పార్టీలన్నీ కూడా ప్రజలను, పౌరులను బానిసలుగా మార్చేసి ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్ మేడం, పొలిటీషియన్ నుంచి కింద చిన్న స్థాయి అధికారి వరకు కూడా దేహి అని ప్రాధేయపడే విధంగా పాలనను సాగించడం, దీన్ని పట్ల ఎప్పటికప్పుడు మనం ఒక లైవ్ షో దీన్ని సిరీస్గా పెట్టాలా, ప్రజలకు అర్థం కావాలా. ప్రజాస్వామ్యంలో ప్రజలే దేవుళ్ళు, ప్రజలు కట్టే పన్నులతోనే ప్రధానమంత్రి నుంచి ముఖ్యమంత్రి వరకు మనకు సంక్షేమం, అభివృద్ధి చూడడానికే ఉన్నారు. అటువంటి నేపథ్యంలో ఐఏఎస్ కానీ, ఐపీఎస్ కానీ, ఐఆర్ఎస్ వీళ్ళంతా కూడా దానికి అనుబంధంగా సేవలు అందించాల్సినటువంటి వ్యవస్థలే తప్ప వాళ్ళందరూ ప్రజాసేవకులు. దే ఆర్ ఆల్ పబ్లిక్ సర్వెంట్స్ బికాస్ ఇండియా ఈజ్ ఎ రిపబ్లిక్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ సిటిజన్ ఈజ్ ఎ కాన్స్టిట్యూషనల్ అథారిటీ ఆన్ హిజ్ ఓన్ యాజ్ వీ హ్యావ్ సబ్మిటెడ్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ టు అవర్ సెల్వ్స్. And how is that even after freedom, British left India, we still follow the same British legacy of surrendering? Yes sir, yes madam. For this reason, for my Guru and Guru Tulilu both have come onto this live to see that the rights, the enshrined rights in our constitution are practiced to the hilt to make people aware of their rights. In doing so, they have shared a video and they asked me, because I give all my this credit, Dr. TSPR's channel's credit to my Guru Garu, Professor Purushottam Reddy Garu, likewise Guru Tulyulu Subbarao Garu. They have masterminded. Everyone was asking, what is this sir? Purushottam Reddy Gari photo ఉన్నది హైదరాబాద్ డెమోక్రసీ ఫోరం ఎక్కడ పోయిందని. సార్ మాఫ్ కర్నా, క్షమించాలా, అది ఒకటి మర్చిపోయాను, ఎందుకంటే ఆ పెద్ద ఫ్రేమ్లో అది రాలేకపోయింది. దిస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఈజ్ అండర్ ది ఏజెస్ ఆఫ్ హైదరాబాద్ డెమోక్రసీ ఫోరం, హెచ్డిఎఫ్ఏ. గురుగారు ఆర్ ఆన్ ది లైన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఏథెన్స్ డెమోక్రసీ ఫోరం, దాని గురించే తీసుకొచ్చారు. దిస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఈజ్ రన్. డెఫినెట్గా రీటెలికాస్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు వీ విల్ కరెక్ట్ దట్ మిస్టేక్ ఇన్ ది పోస్టర్. దిస్ కమ్స్ అండర్ హెచ్డిఎఫ్ అండ్ వీఆర్ హ్యాపీ దట్ పీపుల్ హ్యావ్ బికమ్ వెరీ సెన్సిటివ్ టు అవర్ షోస్. దో దే షో 0 viewers, 0 watching, but it is infiltrating, it is reaching the masses and they are pulling my ears. So welcome sir. కొత్త సంవత్సరంలో మీరు పంపించినటువంటి వీడియో అది ఒక్కసారి ప్లే చేస్తాను సార్, అది ప్రజలకు. సో ప్రొఫెసర్ పురుషోత్తం రెడ్డి గారు నిన్న కూడా ఒక మంచి వీడియో, కేరళలో నీ అత్తగారయ్యా నీకేం తెలుస్తలేదా ఏమవుతుంది అక్కడ, ఒక పంచాయత్, ఒక మహిళా ప్రెసిడెంట్ అక్కడ మార్పుకు నాంది పలికారు. ప్రజలు నో క్వశ్చన్ ఆఫ్ addressing us sir or madam, you desire and demand dignity of citizen is important for us ani. And one panchayat it started, now it is spreading like wildfire in Kerala. Why not the entire country? That is what is the concern of my gurus, and I have learnt everything from him and from Guru Subbarao garu kuda. రాజ్యాంగం, హక్కులు, దాంతో జోడించి మన జీవనం, పర్యావరణం, దీంట్లోనే అన్నీ ఉంటాయి. కాబట్టి ఈ ఛానల్ కూడా వారు సూచించిన విధంగానే ఈ అన్ని హంగులతోనే ఏ అంశమైనా కూడా మేము ఆ విధంగానే ముందుకు తీసుకుపోతా ఉన్నాం. లెట్ మీ జస్ట్ ప్లే దిస్ వీడియో సో దట్ వై వీఆర్ మేకింగ్ దిస్ లైవ్ షో, యుల్ అండర్స్టాండ్. ఒక్కసారైనా మీరు ఒక్కొక్క మాట మాట్లాడారు ముందు మాటగా. ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ ట్రైంగ్ టు సెట్ ఇట్ అప్.
Thank you. My friend, Mr. Subbarao, actually, we are gathered here today to discuss what can be described as concerning the dignity of the citizens. And here, I wish to remind the audience of a very eminent political scientist. His name is David Easton, a Canadian-born American professor of political science. He was teaching in the University of Chicago. And there, his very famous theory is the systems theory. Systems theory and political systems theory. And the Professor David Easton very clearly mentions, he gives the shape of a triangle, political system of a triangle. And from the left side, there will be demands on the political system. Now, these demands come from the citizens, from political parties, from pressure groups, from any combination of citizens. They come. And these are demands, they are not prayers. I request everybody to know that people demand services from the political system. Now, what the political system does is, they go through the demands of the people and they have to explain, that is, what they can do. They will immediately come up with public policies in order to ensure and to satisfy the demands of the citizens. What they are unable to do, they will also explain to the people that because of paucity of funds or whatever, they will have to explain and they will have to schedule. That is maybe after 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, whenever it is possible to address those demands. And once the demands are addressed, they become public policies. And after some time, maybe, depending upon the political situation in that country, that public policy, over a period of time, there will be once again public reaction to the policy. And citizens will once again, they will convert it into a demand. So it is a cyclic process. People have a right to demand. They are not going to ask any charity. So this is the first point I wanted to make just now. And we'll go through the video if it is ready.
Yeah, it's ready, ready. I'm sharing it now.
Yeah.
Self-centricism is the flavor of the times. Make America great again, said Donald Trump. Make France daring again, said Emmanuel Macron. And we in India say, make in India. But what exactly does it mean to make a nation great, if not to make its people feel good and live in dignity? I'm talking about India. Why am I saying this? Because with every passing day, there seems to be increasing contempt towards the average Indian by the state and its officials. That disrespect, the derision, and downright rudeness seems to have increased in recent days, weeks, and months. Unbelievable, but a contempt for Indians by Indians in India. Take a look at these. This week, some ginger farmers who crossed the Kerala-Karnataka border were branded on their bodies, were putting body seals by Karnataka officials about their quarantine times. They're what, cattle? At least they're treated like cattle in India. Cattle class, to quote Shashi Tharoor. In Kerala's Balaramapuram near Thiruvananthapuram, a police officer had the gall to enter a car, take the key out and lock it, even as a 3-year-old girl child was in it, wailing. Why did he do it? Because the girl's parents, standing outside the car, did not have enough cash on them to pay the fine he had charged them. The couple was so terrorized by police, which is common in India, that they did not even dare to lodge a complaint. The incident happened on February 23rd, but it was more than 6 months later, this week, that they finally mustered enough courage to give a complaint. Now, Kerala police is famous on social media with more than 1 million likes, which is more than that of the New York Police Department. But as one commentator said, Kerala police may be civilized on FB, but not in real life. If lower level officials can do such stuff, one should shudder to think what IAS officers can do to ordinary Indians. Take a look at some of these Indian officials at work among Indian citizens. Here's Manjusha Rai, IAS officer of Shajapur district, Madhya Pradesh, slapping a young boy. A slap seems to be a handy weapon for IAS officers in dealing with Indian citizens. Here's Prakash Singh Rajput, a sub-divisional magistrate in Surajpur, Chhattisgarh, slapping a youth and making him do sit-ups in public. This was after another IAS officer in Chhattisgarh, Ranbir Sharma, slapped a youth in full public glare and smashed his phone.
सड़क पर पटक देते हैं। जब कलेक्टर रणवीर शर्मा का इतने से मन नहीं भरता है तो वे
And then there was Shailesh Kumar Yadav, a district magistrate in Tripura, terrorizing guests at a wedding for violating COVID norms. And in Haryana, the whole country heard last week a sub-divisional magistrate telling policemen to break their heads while dealing with the farmers' agitation. Perhaps the same command that British officers used against Indians participating in the Salt Satyagraha 91 years ago in 1930. Actually, this week on Teachers' Day, the teachers I thought of were the ones at the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, who must be holding their heads in shame for producing officers like this. I wonder if our objective is to train civil service officers to be as British as the British were in dealing with Indians. Forget the civil services. We failed collectively as a nation last year when millions of workers across the country from different cities lost their jobs overnight with virtually no notice and had to walk hundreds of miles home with women and small children with no transport, food, or sometimes even footwear. And now we shed tears over an exodus in Afghanistan. It is in this backdrop of a transition from British oppression of Indians to Indian oppression of Indians that a small spark has been ignited. Where else but in Kerala, for Indian citizens to be their own masters. The Mathur Panchayat in Kerala's Palakkad district has decided to ban salutations like sir and madam while addressing government officials. And when citizens write to the Panchayat, they won't have to use words like appeal or request anymore, but just say desire or demand. I spoke to Pravita Muralidharan, the Panchayat president, who led this momentous decision through.
ജനങ്ങളെ നമ്മളെ ഒരു പഞ്ചായത്തിൽ വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമ്മളുടെ അടുത്ത് വന്ന് അവര് സാർ മേഡം ഒന്നും വിളിക്കേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവരൊരു നമ്മളോട് വന്ന് ഇതേറ്റ മനോഭാവത്തിൽ വന്ന് നിൽക്കേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല. അവരുടെ അവകാശങ്ങൾ നേടാൻ വേണ്ടി വരുമ്പോൾ നമുക്കത് ചെയ്തു കൊടുക്കേണ്ട ബാധ്യത ഓരോ ഉദ്യോഗസ്ഥർക്കാണെങ്കിലും ജനപ്രതിനിധികൾക്കാണെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ട്.
Interestingly, the 8 Congress members, the 7 left members, and the single BJP member in the Mathur Panchayat were unanimous in deciding to ban salutations like sir and madam. That spark is spreading like wildfire in Kerala. The Avinisheri Panchayat in Thrissur district, the Ambalappuzha North Panchayat in Alappuzha district, and the Ulavur Panchayat in Kottayam district, which produced a president of India, have all decided to shift to a modern democratic language, dumping the feudalistic monarchic style. No nation that denies dignity to its citizens can achieve greatness. India denying basic dignity to its citizens is particularly heartbreaking because we have the largest pool of millennials in the whole world, our greatest resource, 440 million of them. The 2021 CIA World Factbook puts India's median age at 28 years, which is far superior to that of the world's top 3 economies. The US at 38 years, China 37 years, and Japan 47 years. We need to inspire these millions, not slap them. This video is dedicated to K.A. Pradeep of Kochi, Kerala, who drives an auto rickshaw named Alchemist. that caught the attention of best-selling author Paulo Coelho, who tweeted, "Kerala, India, thank you for the photo." Besides Coelho, Pradeep's favorite authors are Victor Hugo, Leo Tolstoy, and D.H. Lawrence. Imagine the potential of a nation with people like Pradeep and a median age of 28, meaning 700 million Indians below the age of 28. Imagine what we can achieve if we gave them all dignified lives. Thank you.
We give credit to the
I request Subbarao to comment.
we give credit to the one who has produced this video.
Shivanand Chettam.
We give credit to the one who has produced such a wonderful video with all statistics and he has ignited.
Unmute.
Subanna, మాట్లాడండి
Unmute. Unmute.
కాలేదా? ఒక్క నిమిషం మళ్ళీ చేస్తాను నేను సుబ్బన్న.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, we should congratulate the producer because identification, compilation, and then synthesizing the entire events is the major homework in such video productions. And bringing out a message from that is a great, commendable job. Yes, India still suffers from the slavery mentality, and we always look for a vertical hierarchy in the system that really, it disappoints. We are talking about, Young India, 28 years below, and all that. But thing is, what kind of a direction we are giving to these youngsters? And what kind of a role models we are giving? And what kind of a developmental path we are setting towards them? Exposing them. And today the social media is everywhere. But we see not even 2% of social content. Social media, what I understood last 3 months is more than the facts and figures. It is also a make-believe world. We have people who hype the entire social media. We have people who can create, a proxy IDs and make things viral. It's a very unfortunate thing that the entire world caught in this vicious circle. But how do we, bring out, unveil this mist before us? And interestingly, it only happens in India. On the other day, we were celebrating Vivekananda's birthday, and Yuva Kendras are revitalized. What purpose, I do not know. What is that we are giving it to them? And everywhere, in every street corner, there was Vivekananda's photograph, garlanded. And suddenly the Indian culture, it erupted like a volcano. But I have my own doubts, how many people read actually Vivekananda, and how many people. I admire Vivekananda ji for his great wisdom and his love for Indian Akhada, the mind and the soul. I have not come across, a single celebration at Indian Akhada in Hyderabad. He was the favorite game of Hyderabad. in good old days. Okay, it surpassed and went into the Western freestyle wrestling. But thing is, the basic core essence of it is a sound health needs a sound body. I have not come across this message during his birthday. Then what kind of a message we are giving to the youngsters? I'm sorry to say, the great minister who wishes and who bounces every day onto the front page said he's going to help the sports person somewhere, in other parts of the country, forgetting about the needy, deserved people in his own land. Let us stop all this hypocrisy, right from local to the central government level. We need to first identify, what are the indicators of human dignity? And are we following? Is the system following these indicators of human dignity? At several public places, you go to government offices and other places. You do not have even, a seat to sit and relax. Before your turn comes before the doctor or officer concerned. What is happening to all these things? We do not care. On the other day, today only I was going through everything and asked my colleague to tweet on this issue. We were talking of these manholes and persons physically cleaning the manholes. And today the state government declared that it has a mechanized machinery. And even before getting the mechanized machinery, it also got a national award for cleaning the manholes. That's a difference. One incident really pricked me when I came to know today I have this complaint before. One of the sanitation workers at Ellamakunta, Miyapur, Selingapur, he is not cleaning the manhole. He was only cleaning the garbage and the dump in the lake. After 1.5 hours, he felt unconscious and died. The neighborhood was complaining about the, foul smell that is emanating from the lake. It could be a toxic smell or anything. So, where is the dignity for the worker? Dignity of labor. Okay? The concerned officers sit in the air-conditioned rooftop, all nonsense. But whereas the ground level workers, just for their survival, they subsidize their standards of living. And almost I have visited 8 bastis in the so-called world-class high infrastructure area, Serilingampalli. And 20% of the habitants are engaged by the authorities in garbage segregation, garbage collection. And they were also identified and given the identity cards. But most funniest part of it is their bastis are not recognized. Their services are exploited. But their survival is not recognized. So what kind of an atmosphere we are living today in the 21st century? See, I generally used to, it's a favorite statement from my side is, man always exploited the resources and his fellow being since the dawn of civilization. We have seen the mining sector particularly, the timber logging in good old days. Who needed a lot of labor, slavery. The entire infrastructure in the United States of America was developed during the slavery. And today in India, we are going to celebrate the Republic Day on January 26th, and we will have many more, ear-breaking speeches from the leaders. But where is the guarantee that the human life is secured and ensured a decent living in this part of the world? So we need to look into these aspects. You see, the physical salutations, sir, madam, and all, it's there in our blood. And more than that, what I feel is the kind of mental submission to the system. సారేమనుకుంటాడు, దొరేమనుకుంటాడు, వాడేమనుకుంటాడు, వీడేమనుకుంటాడు, అంతే దీంతో జిందగీ వెళ్ళిపోతాం. ఒక వర్కర్ సరిపోయినాడు గాలి పీల్చుకొని, and you see, nobody has made a complaint that what kind of a toxic smell is coming from that lake. And yesterday I saw a statement from one of the sitting ministers, cabinet ministers from the state. చెరువులను సుందరీకరిస్తాం, సచ్చినోనికి కులమాలి ఎట్లా ఉన్నది అంటే అది కుళ్ళిపోయి వాసన వస్తున్నది, దగ్గర పోయిన చచ్చిపోతున్నాడు. దాని చుట్టూ ఒక వాకింగ్ ట్రాక్, బేకింగ్ ట్రాక్, సైక్లింగ్ ట్రాక్, పూల వనాలు అని. Nobody bothers about the quality of water. How do we restore the quality of water? Water, which is the prime element, a life-giving source, we are not respecting. And I should not mention because I feel very, very pathetic on this situation. Right in the Serilingampalli, in one of the bastis, they filter the sewage and drink the water. That is the situation. And we talk that Hyderabad is in the world map, and we are competing for the what race? E-race around the Necklace Road. You see, Necklace Road has become a tight rope, a depth rope actually. Everything we want around the Necklace Road. I do not know. I'm sorry to say that is the governor of our state so interested to view everything sitting from the home, so that the state authorities can perform all the activities, celebrations around the Necklace Road? We have to think so. So this country needs a lot, a radical change, a paradigm shift in learning, inculcating a sense of respect to fellow beings, and give measurable indicators for the humanity. And what are the parameters we need to look at? Like countries like Bhutan says that happiness is the indicator for that. But I say in India, at least, respecting the fellow being and the dignity of the labor, which was, time and again, Mahatma Gandhi was telling about it. And it becomes a ritual on every October 2nd that every leader, right from Gully corporator to the Prime Minister, they come with a broomstick and start cleaning the streets. That's not good. We need to introspect ourselves. But really, I feel, may his soul rest in peace, and I request my friend Shiv Prasad that we should come out with a special focus debate on the kind of bastis we have today, the kind of life, how they are subsidizing for others to live a luxury life. And others, outer ring road, another ring road. What is it? Farm house in Patancheru, Zahirabad, Zahirabad, 50,000 rupees secretariat. You cannot construct a public toilet. I challenge. We have much more challenges before us. So the country needs a serious introspection, and particularly, what is the message we are giving the youngsters? And what kind of a development path we are placing before them? And what kind of a alternative choices we are leaving before them? It's a big challenge, a big task, and people should start living in the reality, not in the dream world. We are not here to sell the dreams. Our politicians are selling the dreams of corporate sector, and we can't think of it. Okay. And once again, the moment I saw this morning that this particular subject, I could not resist myself. Somehow managed to return by 7 o'clock to participate in this, because this is what my big Anna, Professor Purushottam Reddy, was talking about. Let us begin something, let us do something, let us contribute something, let us make a dent in the system before we kick the bucket. Otherwise, there is no meaning for the life. This is what I felt. Let's youngsters start. Let us start interacting with the youngsters, even if they resist in the beginning stages. Let us send the messages across the country. Thank you so much, Professor Purushottam Reddy.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
good friend, Mr. Prasad. We need to, provide 2 years ahead of us. We have the elections, and what kind of a things we are. People from one city, one state to going to other state, jumping, monkeys from one party to the other, and in the same psychology. We need to stop this. Parties must have, very strict framework of the ideology, and we should also think of what kind of an ideology the political party should have. And let us start seeding the thoughts across the country. And I'm identifying the youngsters in this direction. We have already started working on it. I think probably day after tomorrow, we will have a triangular meeting with a Jaipur young man who is aiming to start a Green Party. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Shivprasad Reddy
Yeah.
for taking the initiative. And I wish to compliment our friend Joe for making this wonderful video regarding the dignity of the person and dignity of the citizens. I have already made one observation that is regarding, I wanted to remind the audience of a great political scientist born in Canada but worked in Chicago. And he had a very long innings as a professor in political science at the University of Chicago. And his monumental masterpiece is the systems theory, that is political systems theory. And in that most important, it's something like the Bible of governance throughout the world. There, that political scientist, David Easton, uses the word demands. Demands on the political system. That is the word. That is, citizens should demand the political system. There is no question of prayer or we submit, we request your highness, all this bullshit will not be there. We are a democracy and the citizens have a right to demand. Now the point here is that all public officials are basically public servants. We, the people in this country, It is we who made the Constitution. We have given to ourselves this wonderful Constitution. I wish to also remind our friends in the audience that a great American president, Thomas Jefferson, and this president, he tells the American people, he cautions them and reminds them that there should be a revolution in America every 10 years. Every 10 years, that vibrancy of the people, the citizens, it has to be ensured. All of us are aware that America became free as a result of the American War of Independence. And the great visionaries of the time, they came together, they framed a democratic constitution, a written constitution, inspired by John Locke. And John Locke, the famous contractualist, basically it is a social contract between the citizens and the government. The governments are there to serve the people. Just as we have this empowerment by contracts, exactly in the same manner, when people exercise their ballot, they are simply authorizing their public representatives to work on their behalf, and it is for a limited period of 4 years or 5 years, depending upon the constitutional provision. There is no guarantee that the citizens will renew the contract. Extension is that is a separate thing. I request the citizens, and I wish to remind them that they are the masters. And all public representatives, whether it is MP, MLA, everybody, they are public servants. Now coming to that particular video, I have gone through it multiple times. And I can tell you, friends, the arrogance of the IAS officers is basically, it has to be understood in the context that at the district level, we do not have separation of powers. The collector is the chief executive officer of the district. At the same time, the collector is also the district magistrate. Now, this is a British vestigial position. That is, it was designed by the British to control the Indians. Now, it is a pity that even after 72 years of our republic, this anachronism is continuing. It is nothing but dictatorship at the district level. It is high time that the Constitution of India is amended. The collector, even the word collector is not, suitable. The nomenclature has to be changed. We can call him as the first servant at the district level. And the additional power of being the district magistrate has to be done away with. Where is the need to have a two-in-one position at the district level? You have the district judge. You have a wonderful judicial system right from the Supreme Court, High Court, District Court, and the Magistrate Court. Why? It is an anachronism. It can never be justified. Two-in-one. It is the collector who commits the atrocities, and how can he also be the district magistrate? So this has to be reviewed. I am sure in the days to come, Hyderabad Democracy Forum will initiate discussion on this also. I have to remind our young friends of another great political scientist. And the name, the professor is Thomas R. Dye. Thomas, capital letter R, Dye, D-Y-E, whose name is synonymous with public policy. Now, when we are talking about the performance of the government, it is not just the lawmakers, but the law implementers at the district level or state level and so on. Thomas R. Dye he is a public policy expert, and he says And public policy is whatever the government does or prefers not to do. Every action of the collector will be a remark on the performance of the government. We can understand the arrogance of the collectors at the district level because they're absolutely ignorant of the sacrifices made during the freedom struggle by millions of poorest of the poor people in this country. For convenience sake, whenever we give a lecture, we may take a few names like Gandhi, Dr. Ambedkar, and so on. But millions have participated. And because of their sacrifices, we became free. These typical IAS officers were selected, just after graduation. They never had the experience of working in the society, because I consider society as my life. And without understanding the rising aspirations of the daily millions of people in this country, how can the IAS or the IPS administer? They have no idea of what the people are thinking. The depth of their suffering, or the pangs of poverty, hunger, the kind of diseases they are exposed, and all because of the negligence of the successive governments. Okay, this is a very serious issue. We will have to take all this into consideration. Now, after 70 years of constitutional functioning, I think it is time that India once again went in for serious administrative reforms. I'm conscious of the fact that several administrative reforms commissions have been appointed. Some reforms have been taken up. But over a period of time, the entire administrative structure is serving the corporates, not the citizens. I am prepared to go in for a plebiscite on this wonderful issue. Come on, let us ask the voters in this country whether they are satisfied with the kind of administration we have. Now, the question is, okay, we have seen in the video couple of collectors slapping the citizens. That is an insult. It is not just a slap on the face of that particular citizen. It is a slap on the face of the citizens of India. Now, have these collectors been booked? Why were they not booked and prosecuted and punished? I am asking as a political scientist. How can an officer slap a citizen and escape, and that too in front of so many police officers? I mean, this is a very serious issue, which is time we the citizens start thinking. At the district level, there is no separation of powers. This separation of powers is long overdue. Also, I am extremely happy when I was so happy that my heart was full of joy when I saw in the video that the panchayats in Kerala have taken the lead and they have launched a struggle for dignity, human dignity. Talking about the panchayats, we have created the 3 levels of governments: the central government, state government, and the local governments. But then the power to control the local governments we have vested with the state government. Now this is an anachronism. It has to be rectified. We have been many a times that entry 5, we have, and we have to take it very seriously. And as my friend Subbarao pointed out, we are also simultaneously working and trying to come together at the national level, all like-minded people. Maybe we will start a Green Party, but then the essence of the Green Party will be local government. What is the fun of democracy if the people do not have control over their destinies, over their natural resources, if they have no power to take care of the air they breathe, the water they drink, over the biodiversity they have, over the lakes and water bodies, there are so many larger issues. So I think India is, a thorough overhauling of the constitution is long overdue. And just two more points. Several times in this Hyderabad Democracy Forum, my friend Subbarao-ji, Shivaprasad-ji and several others, we all have voiced our concern over this so-called VIP culture. On the roads of Hyderabad, or in fact on the roads of India, suddenly VIPs, we witness what we call a convoy of vehicles. We, the people, are stopped, and this huge, big convoy of vehicles taking one VIP, 14 vehicles, 15 vehicles, or even more. We see that convoy of vehicles passing. Citizens are stopped, and public servants are given high priority on the roads of India, where the masters are stopped. We the people, we are the masters. We are stopped, and our servants are given the highest priority and safe passage. I don't know whether this is democracy or plutocracy or oligarchy. The entire political system, sometimes you get a feeling that this is working in favor of the rich and the powerful and the mighty. Friends, this is not only on the roads of India. Now, let us assume we go to a temple. And I am shocked when we see in the temples, the entire temple hierarchy, including the chief priest, waiting to receive somebody and to, with all the temple horns. Where are we? In 2022 to 2022, that is in this year, when the whole world is clamoring for equality, when the focus is on the poorest of the poor, the temple managements are never tired of receiving the president and the prime minister and the chief ministers, including high court judges, Supreme Court judges, and the Supreme Court chief justices. What with temple honors? Is it not violative of the Constitution? Don't they go through the pages of the Constitution? In the very preamble itself, we pledge that we shall work to ensure the liberty and equality and fraternity and to ensure justice. We have constituted India into a sovereign, democratic, socialist, secular republic, and we pledge to realize what happens to every day the Constitution is violated at the entrances of the temple. What is this talk of temple honors, and how can it be given to so many enemies? So friends, there are many areas, many lacunae, and the best thing that because India, we need to ensure that India continues to be a constitutional democracy. We have to work very hard to bring about the reforms. And one of the major reforms should be to do away with this civil services culture. They think they are ordinary graduates, they write a exam, compete with the UPSC, and somebody has to be selected. Then there is some interview and some training for 1 year, and they come out. They think they are a super race. They think they are above the masses of India. And the system, I don't know how it tolerates. So basically, as we go into the future, what's happening in Kerala should become the norm. And in every Gram Panchayat, people have to think, resolve. They need to come together. They need to resolve and work very hard to sensitize, mobilize, galvanize, and ultimately we need to have. I agree with Thomas Jefferson when he said of America that there should be a revolution every 10 years. It is now 70 years, more than 70 years, that we are continuing with the same constitution. We have been amending the constitution more than 100 times. And the Supreme Court has given several landmark judgments which results in constitutional amendment. A different interpretation is given depending upon the person. Okay, fine. But for a common man, the constitution is a little. I don't think there is any professor or even an advocate who can give a lecture continuously on the Constitution of India, which covers the entire gamut of the aspirations of the people as reflected in the Constituent Assembly, the Constitution, the spirit of India's freedom struggle, the basic structure of the Constitution, plus the amendments and the Supreme Court judgment, and what is lacking, what are the demerits, what are the critical areas of what we call the conflict areas in India, which require constitutional amendment. Why do we make the Constitution so difficult for the people to understand? Why can't we go in for a fresh roundtable and have a frank discussion? Rewrite the Constitution in the light of 2022, today's world, today's aspirations. What are the aspirations of the young India? Why can't we take their aspirations into consideration? It may be a one-year exercise. Today we have technology which empowers us to meet. We can have innumerable webinars, we can have Grama Sabhas, we can have the urban population coming together and agreeing on a common action program. I think the time has come for Indians to think alone. In webinars like this, which are basically focusing on academic matters, we need to once again prepare ourselves for a renewed effort to make India more democratic. My full compliments to Patrick, the way he has done it. Hats off to our friends from Kerala. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, Anna. We are approaching another Republic Day, January 26, 2022. And what a better way to celebrate, as you always preach.
Oh, I was thinking in a very, it's in a lighter way as well as a challenge. In the coming, Republic Day, to organize a letter writing competition among youngsters that write a letter to collector. You should never mention dear sir. Okay? And then humbly yours. There are a typical, letter writing which we were taught, and some of them are still in our mind. And in a service, and this is for your kind. I invite your kind attention. What very thing is here? We invite his kind attention. Bhagavan Venkateshwara Swami Name Dayasu. We invite your kind attention on the following issue.
And also to do away with reverse faithfully. We can't be faithful to the person, will be faithful and loyal to the constitution.
Some of the letters I was recollecting, service. Kind attention. What very kind attention? Second thing, this is for your kind perusal, information, record, and needful action. అంటే వాడు చదవనీకే కూడా కైండ్ పేరు and information and record, as if that fellow doesn't keep any record of the system. That is the reason, Professor Purushottam Reddy said systems approach. Okay? So this is letter writing competition on the Republic Day, asking how do you address? It's a big challenge, because even for myself, without mentioning dear sir, I can't start a letter. So maybe it's there in my blood last 17 years. But how do I come out of that? That's one aspect. The second thing is, in the court of law, whenever the judge asks, you have to take a oath on the name of Bhagavad Gita, on the name of Bible, and when you were mentioning about the incidents and events and before the presence of the Almighty in the temples, so I thought, in the presence of the God, we are here to violate all the constitution and follow the hierarchy system, okay? And the temple rituals, which was a privilege to Krishna Deva Raya. Why not? I, as the chief minister, should not receive it. Okay? So this is the kind of things which we are living in. So everybody thinks, given an option, every politician will come out with a statue of his entire family. Because he will keep his grandson's statue also ready. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is the kind of thing, and God only saves this. Even I don't think God can save, because he has too many pending cases before him. Okay? So I thought, why not we go so seriously? But see, I'm serious that, we should conduct a interactive competition.
Yes. Let us request all
And
those
the-
viewers.
And the third one, you see, which reminded me of a chemistry teacher in my life. On the very first day, I was so fond of chemistry, and he was successful killing my interest. So I can't forget him. The day when he came, he was a very tall personality, and he said, chemistry, very tough subject. And it's very difficult. I know you people cannot understand, cannot remember, and I do not know how you will pass. Okay, we don't pass. What is the great deal?
That is
So
ridiculous, really.
ultimately, what he said, I know people copy in the exam. Okay, we have decided to copy because my teacher told I cannot understand. So, we have so many learned persons in this country who make the life miserable for themselves. It could be mathematics. It all starts with mathematics, as if mathematics is the subject of so-called genius. I have seen mathematicians, go crazy and mad people landing in America. Okay, they have to learn the art of quantification. Art of quantification is most important, because you cannot bring out a narrative, qualitative report of 300 pages and ask people to. So each subject has some. And now you say, they have already created Constitution a complicated subject. Okay? Republic Day is another initiative what we should think of is, how do I demystify, simplify, bring it to the wavelength of a common man, the Constitution.
Yeah.
That's all.
We have to
What
plan.
is there for me? What is there for me? What are my rights? What are my responsibilities? That's it. Why so many pages and all those things? So it's time to bring out a change in our articulation and communication systems.
Yeah.
it's time to demystify and simplify the Constitution so that everybody understands it. Make just a 6-page, essence of the Constitution in all the 14 official languages circulate. If possible, make small stories of Constitution. Today, the storytelling is much more interesting.
I know.
So we need to find many other communications. I think Dr. Shivprasad Reddy will give us time and space to experiment on how do we take the Constitution, the gist of Constitution, to the common people. And also, I experimented already with children. So let us also have a webinar with children on Constitution.
Yeah, 26, I'm ready, sir. This coming 26.
So
See, it's not
let
the.
us,
Let us enlighten people. See, basically, as both of you have been pointing out, lack of awareness. Why lack of awareness? Information is either subsidized, prejudiced, or they promote only which suits them. And this is how these people, all the concerned citizens, including myself and everyone, you fall into the trap, make-believe world. And that is how you are surrendering. And this is happening very regularly. And they remind you of this happening on the August 15th speeches by politicians, and followed by 26th January, similarly, how they approach and how they try to enlighten us. Everything away from the Constitution, as you rightly said, duties or responsibilities or rights, fundamental rights, nothing is being taught or informed. That is why I salute the the Panchayat of Kerala, as we have been discussing, Anna Purushothamanna also very regularly, remove that entry 5 from states list, so that Panchayats will have their own inherent power. Grama Sachivalayam, the village secretariat, the entire village, all those who have voting rights will come together and decide their fate for themselves. But why the hell someone else? Then when state has got, legislature has got its own responsibilities, and parliament also has got its own responsibilities. But both parliament and assemblies have usurped the rights of this Panchayat secretariat, so that they have enslaved. ఎందుకంటే తెలుగులో చెప్తారు కదా, మన గ్రామాలు ప్రజాస్వామ్యానికి పట్టు కొమ్మలు లాంటివి. దే ఆర్ లైక్ branches of a big tree, like democracy, constitution. That is how they have been usurping the rights of the village panchayats. And that is why right from that village level to the urban city level or town level, wherein these parliament and assemblies have been concentrating their powers, are ruthlessly suppressing the rights. And right to information, basically, that information is never being allowed to pass on to the local citizen of that village. That is the reason why we have still enslaved. We are following British legacy. When collector snaps, and you see when you go to police station, all cinematic, they'll come and kick you. What is this nonsense? Is it not fundamental rights? Our own Chief Justice of India was lamenting that the human rights happen at the police stations. It's a big comment. And also they clearly stated at every police station they should have a grievance cell, information attached. If that police station or SHO or the other investigating officer is not coming to your rescue, they should go to someone who is already there as a statute. No information is furnished in the police stations. They are terrorizing in the movies and everywhere. And even the media, they terrorize or eulogize them to such an extent that the police or likewise Indian Administrative Service or all other services have forgot their duties and responsibilities, except to see that people are terrorized, as we are witnessing now in pandemic. And health issue has become a law and order issue. They have picked up the old Epidemic Act. Now they add Disaster Management Act. No masks for politicians, administrators and cine people. They go around merrily, lakhs of rallies, people with rallies in the morning, night curfews. And you have seen now the same thing. Cinema closed theatres with air conditioned, where corona spreads, there is no physical distancing. They are open, wine shops are open, but schools are closed, schools and colleges. What is this nonsense going on? That beats my intelligence, sir. That is why I'm ready for 26th. If you plan, we will go ahead, sir. We'll go ahead. You need to sensitize people, youngsters. Otherwise, this cannot be like that. That's what when Purushottamana told me yesterday, he said, Anna, we are going ahead with this because it's your penchant, your subject. As Subban also always preaches from Gramam to Patanam. Otherwise, we will be enslaved once for all. Yes, sir.
Yeah, with the permission of you two, there are two things what I practice. Yesterday, there was a statement from Prime Minister that he would like to ensure direct funding to the local governments. Okay? And for some reason, but I wonder, the advisors of PM are not advising them properly. It is only the entry 5. Remove entry 5, re-strengthen 74th level.
Yeah.
And you are there at the local government level. So I think we need to, what I thought is through this channel and the opportunity, I put that in. I'm trying to intimate or communicate to the Prime Minister's office that there is a provision called entry 5 which should be deleted so that a direct connectivity ensures between the local government and the central government. So that is what one. And second thing, this debate, actually it reminded me of my media guru and also my Dr. Shiv-Prasad Reddy's guru, late Tilakji.
KB Tilak.
He used to say, అరే ఏమిట్రా నువ్వు వాళ్ళ తెలుగు చదువుకోమంటావు, సంస్కృత్ అంటావు, ఇంకోటి ఇంగ్లీష్ అంటావు. టుడే ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ మూవింగ్ టు డిజిటల్. This shift of technology in the education system, education is empowered. The shift in the technology, we are always trying to keep 90% of the population away from the new technology. Because we want to have the hold of this. That is the reason we have to come forward to demystify the entire thing and make sure, simplify. When Vijayawada guys can come out with guide made easy book, why can't we come out with constitution made easy?
Definitely, sir. You are hitting the bullseye. That's what we need.
To read the guide. So an author like me thought, why not I make a guide made easy. Okay? So we need to come out with, somehow simplify. Let us not come out with all kinds of kavitas and poems. All we have a very great Bhajana Parlu in the state.
Yeah.
Okay? Please come out with songs on Constitution. Simple for children to learn. Okay? So let us bank on this coming Republic Day.
Yes, sir.
Take the Constitution to the people.
Wonderful. Simplify it. Very simplify. Once you create awareness of Constitution, of their fundamental rights, along with their duties and responsibilities, believe me, this fear will go away because they will be well informed, truly informed. Once that is done, believe me, sir, madam, ji huzur, surrender, ni banchand, everything will go away.
Yours faithfully.
Yours faithfully. I am surrendering once for all. Ji huzur. Yes, boss.
In some letter forms, on His Highness. Good rastunti. On His Highness.
And the digital ID forms are touching the feet of the Chief Minister.
Yes, that is the heights of.
అది రాసినా రాకపోయినా ఎట్లనో చేతులు వెళ్ళిపోతాయి. పాము పాకినట్టు. అది కొన్ని బిమారీలు ఉంటాయి చూడండి.
అయ్యా బాంచేదన్ ఆస్తులను కాపాడు, నా పదవిని కాపాడు, అయ్యా బాంచేదన్ వంగడం అంతే, అదే కదా సెల్ఫిష్నెస్, అవేరిష్నెస్, గ్రీడీ. దే బికమ్ వెరీ గ్రీడీ.
ఓత్ తీసుకునే రోజు పెదాలు ఒకటి కలుస్తాయి, దిమాకులు ఒకటి నడుస్తుంది అని చెప్పేది
ఒకటి ఉంటుంది.
లోపల ఏముంటదంటే ఈ రోజు నేను ప్రమాణం అయ్యా దొరా నాకు మున్సరాన్ని కాకు మోస్తా అని అది ఉంటుంది. వాడు చదువుకునేదాంట, మనకేందో రికార్డెడ్ ఏదో చూపిస్తారు, మన అయ్యో పాపం కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఏం ఉండదు. దొరగారి కాళ్ళ మీద ప్రమాణం చేసి అట్లా సో అది పద్ధతి. ఇట్స్ నైస్ బిగ్ అండ్ yes, we should thank this.
Yeah.
We should take this message to millions of people.
Wonderful.
And actors should start realizing this.
Yeah.
And today we have WhatsApp language. That's a different language. Good night, Dr. Shiv Reddy.
Yeah.
Thanks
Good night,
for
and this will be telecasted. Yeah, this will. Yeah, this will
we
be.
could reunite in 2022. This is the year of 3 ducks.
Okay.
2, 2, 2. Okay.
No problem, sir.
Yeah.
We will.
Ducks live water. Let us make water cleanly and good. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Bye.
As well as we will keep that people are aware about their fundamental rights, so that no one takes them easy, and people, I mean, right from Prime Minister, Chief Minister, all Cabinet Secretary to Chief Secretary, all other officials will call every citizen sir or madam. That should be the spirit of this show. And this will be retelecasted day after tomorrow on Citizens Dr. TSPR channel at 11 a.m. Definitely will come out, and this is a series. The dignity of citizens is more important, as was the struggle of Telangana, Atma Gauravam. The same dignity was the main factor for the spirited struggle to attain Telangana statehood. The same goes with each and every statehood and every citizen in this wonderful country, as well as the world alike. So we only hope now people will come out of this fear and demand or desire services, because they are all our public servants. We pay our taxes. Through our taxes, these governments run. They should be run in a transparent and accountable way when something goes wrong. Even those who I'm putting this to all those villagers, ఊర్లో ఉండే వారికి కూడా, మీరు ఇన్కమ్ ట్యాక్స్ ఫైల్ చేయకపోయినా మీరు కొనే అగ్గిపెట్టె దగ్గర నుంచి సబ్బు వరకు మీరు పన్నులు కడతారు. యూ పే ట్యాక్సెస్ ఫర్ బయింగ్ మ్యాచ్ బాక్స్ టు soap. So you are all part of this. Don't feel that I am not paying income tax, I am not filing ITR, you are not there. No. In fact, you are paying more, because you visit kirana shops more than a normal middle class or higher class families. So these taxes are the ones which run these governments. So don't fear. They should run in the welfare and development of every one of us. So they are all public servants. This is what we wanted to convey. And once again, we thank the producer of that video. We give credit to him. Wonderfully done. And the Kerala, all panchayats, like Kerala, across India, every state, the panchayats should pass this, so that they will start attaining freedom. And I hope by this Republic Day, this movement will filter out into a pan-India movement from local movement. We only hope. And we may try to bring out something good on 26th January also. I'll speak to my gurus, and then we'll plan such a good program. Till then, take care and do support Dr. TSPR channels. Sukha Nidra Shubharatri for all Indians. World over, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you, sir.